Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday, it's 1:30, and it's time for our Facebook Live. This is episode 63.
Wow.
That's over a year.
Well over a year.
So happy Halloween. It's Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And we are dual streaming, as always, on YouTube and Facebook.
And we're in the new set.
We are at the new, this is my first time sitting at the new set. So they got everything working. That's good. So
I guess we were a little choppy last week.
We were choppy. Levi's shaking his head. Yeah, he's going, like, man, that was a rough week.
Do we think we got it fixed?
It's all fixed.
Good stuff.
Top rate IT crew. We want you to like or share our videos. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube. And put your questions in. As always, we're going to be answering questions. Start putting them in now. If you have any questions about oil additives, even competitors, we're glad to share our knowledge about that. Racing, Kyle's our racing guru.
You're a racing guru. You go faster than anybody here.
I don't know anything about racing, but I do know about oil. I know about additives. We're going to talk a little bit about diesel winter rescue.
We are. We really designed today to be a question and answer. So we really hope we get a lot of questions. We are going to cover the diesel winter rescue because it's the perfect time of year for it. We got some cold spells hitting the country this weekend, so we wanted to touch on it. But there's not a lot of deepness to go into it. We'll cover it. But hopefully we can get enough questions to keep us rolling here. And
Yep. Well, and the other thing we do is we give you a little bit of a inside look into what's happening at LSI this week. There's always things happening here. This week, Nikki, our new marketing manager, started. So we might have her come on so you can get to meet her. It would be good. And it's a great day for that.
It would be a wonderful day for you all to meet Nikki.
Yes. So we're expecting lots of good things from her. And
we're doing that.
We're going to give away some product. We're giving away the diesel winter rescue.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
That's a tongue twister there.
DWAG.
So what announcements have we got going on the web this week?
Web announcements. Be sure to subscribe to our email newsletter, as Chris said, and we have bundles are back for winter. So the winter stock up bundle: 1 quart of Stiction Eliminator, a 16 ounce of Diesel Extreme, and 5 16 ounces of Diesel Winter Anti-Gel. That bundle, DWAG. That bundle's $114.65. That's live right now on the website, right, Levi? It's ready to go for you. And we also have the Tune-Up Trio plus DWAG, the winter version of the Tune-Up Trio. So that's 2 quarts of Stiction Eliminator, a quart of Diesel Extreme, a quart of FR3, and 2 4 ounces of Diesel Winter Anti-Gel. That's $106.85. And I believe the shipping on that is completely free. Is that right? Yeah. Completely free. Comes right to your door.
So, and remember to subscribe to our newsletter. We try to put a lot of good content out. Last couple of weeks we've gotten distracted with some big projects happening here at LSI headquarters, but you'll see more coming up. Kind of ebbs and flows, so you'll see some new things. We do have some new videos coming on.
Well, with this, it's allowing us to really expand that side. So
that should be exciting. Those should be coming out, I would say, next week and the week after. So stay tuned, and you'll be seeing those. And how about dealer shout-outs?
Dealer shout-outs. Hot off the presses. We just got off the phone with Johnny Montesino, our buddy down there in Miami, with the Diesel Garage. So welcome aboard, Johnny. We also support Johnny on the racing side of things. He's got a really cool truck.
What is it?
It's a Ford Ranger.
A Ford Ranger for racing?
It's bad.
Diesel?
Yeah. It's not quite a Ford Ranger. It used to be one.
I was going to say, how do you get a diesel engine in a Ford Ranger?
Exactly.
It's got like this much space.
Exactly.
In there. Yeah.
Maybe Levi can find a picture of Johnny Montesino's truck, Diesel Garage. It's cool. Okay. All black with gold.
Nice.
You'll wait till you see it. It's so cool.
Okay.
So welcome aboard, Johnny. Glad to have you aboard. Also want to give a shout out to Timz Diesel in Somerset, Pennsylvania. Bane Auto LLC in Wingate, Indiana. Inline 6 LLC at Athens, Texas. Springfield Tractor and Trailer in Springfield, Illinois. And Bass Enterprises in Belmont, Louisiana.
Very good. Well, thanks for being
aboard. We appreciate all the support. Yeah,
that's great.
Helps us get our as we always say, our dealers are really the
backbone of what we're doing.
It is.
For those of you that don't know, we distribute our product through 3 channels, through the retail outlets. O'Reilly's, Pilot Truck Stops, AutoZone, Rural King, Tractor Supply. Most retailers, even Walmart has our Stiction Eliminator, and then we also sell through the web, our e-commerce site. And the reason we do that is there's some products that are new, they're more edgy, so we want to offer them to you direct. I mean, some of our engine oils are very specialized, so we make those available there. But then we have a dealer network. Now these are guys who are seasoned mechanics. They understand diesel engines. They understand what our products do at a higher level. So if you want to talk to somebody besides one of our own, top rate account executives, which they can give you all kinds of information.
Top rated, you said.
Top notch.
Awesome.
The best in the industry.
That's right.
This is we're the only additive company that you can call up and say, my diesel truck's not running, and what do I do? And we'll try to walk you through it and fix it to the best of our ability. But if you need to go to a dealer, if you go to our dealer map, you can pull up one of our dealers, and they've been educated on our products. They know what we do, why we do it, and how we do it. And they have a wider selection of products. Some products just don't lend themselves to retail distribution. Retailers want things to move quickly. They have a very specific number. They call it the turn rate. So, it might be that you have to move one bottle every 2 months per branch, or you have to move one bottle every month. Well, some of these products aren't really that fast of a mover. They might be a once a year treatment. So our dealers will carry those because they are more concerned with fixing your problem. And they are the go-to people.
And really, that's where the education level is.
Yep.
We love our retailers. They obviously pay a lot of bills around here for us.
They do.
They make the product widely available to everybody. But you're not always getting really in-depth information from the counter guy at a retail place. But our dealers are the ones that can really problem solve.
Well, and the dealer can also give you experience. So if you come in and say, well, this diesel Winter Rescue, will it work? He said, well, yeah, I've got 5 other customers and they used it and it worked for them, and they can give you firsthand experience with it. And
for example, Johnny down there at the diesel garage, he is a 6.0, it's a lot 6073, so he knows that whole side of things.
And that's the other thing about dealers. They usually specialize in one type of truck.
Right.
So if you have a 6.0 and you find somebody that works on 6.0s all day, and that's what their mechanics are accustomed to, they're more likely to understand what the problem is.
And if you're a Cummins guy and looking for some transmission stuff in Ohio, guess where you're going?
Firepunk Diesel.
That's right.
He is the transmission guy in the whole
That's right.
country. So in the retail side of things, that makes the product available coast to coast, which gives us the ability to advertise it coast to coast. So sometimes if we want to run a program like Truck U, where it's a national spend, well, you can't do that if you have a dealer in Columbus, Ohio.
Right.
But we do want to educate the whole country about what we have, even the whole world, when we get to that point. So those retail outlets really give us the opportunity to do that.
Speaking of Truck U,
Yes.
how about TV this weekend?
Are we on TV? I'm missing a page.
It's on the back. Flip.
Oh, using 2 sides of the paper. See that?
We're
That's what I
saving
like.
money here, man.
I like it. Save it. So Saturday at 1 p.m., Truck U is going to be on Motor Trend, and they're going to be talking about EDT and FR3.
And that's an in-show, so that's a full feature.
So an in-show is where they use the product in the show. We're going to be working on this truck, and we're going to put these products in and talk to you about how it works. Then on Sunday at 10:30, there's a premiere on Truck U, and that's going to be on Diesel Extreme and EDT.
Yep.
So those are both diesel additives. They're going to be talking about that diesel fuel additives.
2-step fuel treatment side.
2 steps, yep. Then Sunday at 8 a.m. on Truck Tech on the History Channel. The History Channel, that's good. They're going to be talking about Stiction Eliminator. So tune in to Truck U at 1 on Saturday, 10:30 on Sunday, and then Truck Tech at 8 on Sunday.
Yep, 8 Sunday morning.
So we should have a lot of exposure this weekend.
Yeah.
On TV. That'll be good.
It's nice getting on multiple networks too.
Excellent. And what's going on in R&D this week?
R&D has been working on a lot of new things.
They're always working on a lot of new things. Can you narrow that down a little bit?
I'm going to try just to go with what they gave you here. Says they're doing a lot of field testing. I know today's probably not a good day to field test out there. Lab testing formulas and working on new products. That is the most vanilla report I've ever seen.
We could have probably narrowed that down a little bit. Well, I know a little bit about what R&D is doing. We're going to be at Apex next week.
Yep.
So those of you that don't know, Apex and SEMA are the same show. They use 2 convention centers, and they run buses in between them because it is the largest automotive aftermarket show in the world, and everybody is there. We set up at the Apex side of things because that's more along the lines of the industrial, the buyers for Walmart, the buyers and the big dealers will be there, and they want to talk to us about new products, get a little bit deeper dive into what we're doing. We have a speech that I'll be giving there. It's a TED Talk type speech on nano lubricants, and that will be on Wednesday at 12 to 12:20. So R&D has been helping me with the slides and the testing. We want to make sure that we've double checked and triple checked all of our facts because you know, when you say something in public, people are going to call you on it. So we want to make sure we've got everything in
Kind of
line.
like right now when we say stuff and they call us on it.
Yeah, yeah, we have a
A
lot
little
of
bit
good,
more when you're on a
we got a lot of good
apex
fact
stage.
checkers on our Facebook. That's
We
good.
do.
So we've been putting the slides together and trying to explain all the details of the nano presentation.
And what the presentation can be is the future of nano lubricants in the automotive world. Am I right?
Nanotechnology is the verbiage
Sure.
we're using. So how do we use nanotechnology in lubricants coming up? In the past, you know, nanotechnology's been around for 10, 15 years. Meaning nano meaning small. It's 1,000 times smaller than a micron. So our
And a micron is small.
a micron small. So think about this for a minute.
40 microns of human hair?
I'm not sure about that. It could be, but the nanocarbons that we're using are between 3 and 9 nanos. Okay, the width of a DNA chain is 2.3.
Wow.
So our nanocarbons are the width of a DNA strand. That's how small these are. So we're trying to explain how they work, why they work, and why we would even want to use them in lubricants. In the past, the problem has been that nobody's been able to keep them dispersed in a lubricant. And
Right.
we have a way to keep them dispersed permanently, so we go through those. It's got a lot of cooling technology, so the nanocarbons they disperse the temperature really, really well. That's why we see a drop in our FR3 where you get like a 15-degree drop. It's because the nanocarbons are drawing the heat away.
You know, we had one of our viewers mention a couple weeks ago if we had looked into, I believe it was Liquid Moly makes a nano ceramic type product, and we didn't know anything about it at the time, and I'm sure that's probably something I'm looking into because I think Trey Sykes actually bought a bottle and sent it to us. And I'll tell you what, I don't know anything about it yet. We give it to R&D for them to check it out, but you could actually feel that everything is settled to the bottom of that bottle.
Mm-hmm.
You shake it up, and you know it feels like a balanced liquid bottle. But I mean, it's got weight on the bottom, and I'm guessing it's whatever ceramic nanotechnology in there. Like you said, a lot of people have used this type of nanotechnology before, but to keep it suspended in the oil is really the trick.
Well, we've tested nano tungsten disulfide, nano molybdenum disulfide, other nanocarbons, and we've brought products in from all over the world to test them, and none of them stay suspended for more than a week or two.
Right.
So they start off, you know, with really good performance characteristics, but then they drop out.
And they just fall out of solution into the bottom.
Yep.
So if you had something like that, my man, if you had something like that in a motor and it fell out, I mean, what happens then?
It could just sit in the bottom of the oil pan. It could get filtered out, even though it's small, but when they clump together, they could get filtered out.
I see.
But even getting it out of the bottle, so if you have something that's on the shelf for 6 months or in a distribution center, and we sent it to the distribution center for O'Reilly's, and then 3 months later it got shipped to the branch, and then you pour that in, did it actually get out of the bottom of that bottle?
Right.
And it just seems kind of funky to say shake something up before you put it in.
Right.
You shouldn't have to do that. So that's really unique about the one of the products that we have in there. There's 3 patented products in our FR3, and one of them is a patented nanocarbon that stays in suspension permanently. It does bring the load, you know, it's a great load-bearing capacity thing, so we're able to reduce the wear by 60%. We're able to reduce the temperature, increase efficiencies, and one of the other things that was unique about it is it seems to increase the film strength of the oil. And it acts almost as an antioxidant. Not almost, it does act as an antioxidant. We're not quite sure why it does. Aaron and I have been debating that for the last couple of days on how it might be working, but it seems like it's linking in with the carbon molecules and preventing the oxidation from happening.
And one thing I think we often forget to mention when we talk about that is those gains that are made with the FR3, we're making those gains in your oil.
Mm-hmm.
You can put this in any oil. So it's not like we have some very high-end oil products here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the FR3 is designed to, you know, if you're using a conventional oil, a synthetic oil, any highline oil, it doesn't matter. You will see those gains in whatever oil you put it in.
Yeah, and we've tested it. We started off with trucks. We went to cars. We tried lawnmowers, motorcycles. And the reason that we tested it in those, not that that's a great market, but it's like, okay, if this really works, it should work in any combustion engine.
Right.
So there shouldn't be, yes, yes, no, no, yes. It should be yes across the board. And
Right.
so far, it's been extremely consistent. We've had no failures in terms of performance. We've been able to see gains across the board and everything.
Like I always say, if you like your oil, keep your oil. give FR3 a shot, and you'll see, you'll be amazed what it can do to what you currently are using. So, again, that TED Talk, that style talk that Chris is going to be doing is going to be on Wednesday at Apex at noon. We are having a little midday after party, after talk with that back down in the conference room that we have. So if you want to get a deeper dive into it, because it's a short window up on stage, and
Correct.
and this is some very complicated stuff. So I know your challenge right now is trying to figure out what to squeeze in, how to squeeze in, and really get some information across. Well, we're going to have right afterwards. We might be giving away some nanotechnology to anybody that wants to come talk to us afterwards in our conference room there and get a little more information.
Well, the idea behind having the conference room is for those that want more of the laboratory testing and the deeper dives.
Right.
They give us 20 minutes hard stop.
You're right.
So I'm sure there's going to be people there that say, okay, well, I want to know more about how you did the dyno, what were the parameters, or how are you blending it? Have you tested it here? So that's an opportunity for people to do a deeper dive.
And you have such a hard time filling 20 minutes once
Yeah,
you're talking about this stuff.
He's making fun of me. We'll go on for 2 hours about it, and, but they bring people in, they give you 20 minutes, and then move you out. So
Yep.
we will move to the conference room downstairs, and we'll announce that at the time, where that will be. We're going to be at booth 2473.
2473 on the Apex side.
So if you happen to be going, you could feel free to stop by. We'll be glad to show you our test results there also. We'll be manning the booth, talking about it there.
And we have a lot of meetings scheduled for any of our dealers out there that are going to be out there and you're still looking to schedule a meeting with me or anybody on the team. Feel free to get in contact with us. We're going to be doing some product training for our dealers out there if you're interested. And we're also going to be having a SEMA Apex dealer special out there. So if anybody's been thinking about coming on board as a dealer with Hot Shots, find me out there. It's a good time to discuss it. We're both out of our bubbles and be able to sit down and really go over the product line and find a good package to get your business suited well. And might even find a little special discount out there if we get scheduled out at Apex. So,
well, I'll be there. Kevin will be there. He's our vice president, head of research and development, and Brett Tenner will be there. He's the president. Nikki will be out there, our marketing manager. It's a great time to bring us some of your ideas. We're always open to new ideas.
We love ideas.
We take them back and we filter through them, and sometimes we come up with some of our best products that way.
I think we get something out of Apex every year from product development. So that's a good thing.
It's a great show. It's a great opportunity also to talk to everybody and hear your experiences and hearing what your customers are asking for. It is a dealer only show. So it's not open to the public. It's only open to people that own a shop. So you have to have a ticket. It's by invite only.
Yep.
So how's the questions coming along?
Oh, well, I hope we got a lot because, like I said, we don't have a lot to talk about today, but these guys usually fill us up. Bearded Medicine says, "What's up? Happy Halloween!" You guys would notice our guest here too.
That's
What's his name?
I don't know. We need a good name
let's
for
work on
him.
it.
Marketing.
Bearded
That's a
Medic.
marketing. Nikki.
Sam.
All right. Marketing has spoke.
So USMC Racing's in second. I see you, Brian. Trey Sykes is in. Trey shared the stream. Thanks for sharing, Trey. David Baker, I see the Scarecrow, but where are your guys' costumes? We did last minute yesterday, like when everybody's leaving, announced that we can wear costumes today. And some did, some didn't. Everyone thought this is my costume, but really I was supposed to be over setting up a booth at a race. So I said this is my Hot Shots fan costume.
Okay.
Nikki,
on the other
Nikki's
hand,
first
she's
day
all
on the
in.
job came strong.
Come
on, let's bring her on.
We should. You want to come on?
Come on up here.
Nikki.
Now, this is showing up to your first day on the job prepared. Everybody say hi to Nikki. She is our new director of marketing.
She's our team player. So she's going to take our marketing to a new level, and
right.
you should see Hot Shot Secret everywhere from here on out.
That's right. I came out of the gate strong.
We're always
Strong
doing.
in support.
Yep.
Strong in support.
We like it.
Nick, you want to tell us where you came from?
Most recently I was at CAS, which is the division of the American Chemical Society. I also have spent some time at McGraw-Hill Education, so I've been in marketing in some large companies, small companies, education, chemistry, powered by science. That's my background as well. So I'm really anxious to kind of get in and understand the market and meet all the customers and talk with everyone and understands personalities and point of views and Just
One
dive
of,
in.
one of the things that attracted us to Nikki, besides the face paint, was
Always the face paint. Gets them every time.
was the fact
So
that
she showed up in her interview, by the way.
Right.
she had a great background in education with McGraw-Hill and in chemicals and chemistry. So one of the things that differentiates us from everybody else in the market is where they have promotional type products or watered down products that are made to move a lot off the shelf. We make heavy duty industrial professional grade products. Well, the downside of doing that is it takes a lot more explanation, takes a lot more education. So in marketing, it's always this fine line between promotional and education. You don't want to bore the customer to death. You do want to wow them, which is good, but we lean a lot more on education. So we wanted to find somebody that could really bring out all the great things that we're doing and explain it a lot better than we can, and make it more accessible to everyone. So that's why we chose Nikki. We're looking for great things to come. She's brilliant, and we should see some huge, you should see a lot more things coming out of marketing.
Big shoes.
No pressure, Nikki.
Big shoes. All right, I'm going to exit.
Welcome aboard, Nikki.
Welcome aboard. We're glad you're here. All right, so back to our questions.
So that's the costume explanation. So Nikki wins costume contest, easy. My two favorite people, USMC Racing. We got fans out there.
We do.
My co-hosts are watching. How you doing, Mike? City Fit, my mom's watching, of course. Bearded Medic, DWAG, when should I start using it? Weather turned here, 37 degrees. Should I start using now instead of EDT? Yes.
Yes. So just so you understand what the diesel winter anti-gel is, it's the same as our EDT with an anti-gel on top of it. So the idea is we wanted all the performance characteristics of EDT plus the anti-gel properties. In diesel fuel, we have wax. All wax, unless it's beeswax, comes from petroleum products. And when the diesel fuel gets cold, the wax starts to congeal together, and then it clogs your filter, and your truck doesn't go any longer. So if it gets down any place below 40 or 32 actually, or 30, you should have a anti-gel in there. If it's not ours, put somebody else's in there, because you don't want to get stuck on the road.
Right.
If you don't do that, and you do get stuck on the road, we have a
We got
product.
something for you.
We do. It's called Diesel Winter Rescue.
We'll get to that here in a minute. Let's get through the questions. But,
Okay.
But yeah, if you haven't switched over yet, now's the time.
And another thing to think about is you don't know how long diesel fuel is going to sit in a tank or in a truck.
Well, yeah,
October
it's more
1st is usually
important.
our date.
I would almost say you can bring it up before agriculture equipment and
Mm-hmm.
lawn and garden stuff.
Lawn and garden, ag equipment, RVs, you don't know when you're going to be out there. And trust me, it's really not good when it gels up.
No.
I've actually got stuck myself. I put a tractor away in October. You don't think about it. And all of a sudden, it's January and there's a lot of snow out. Well, I'll just go get the front end loader and clean that snow up. Sure enough, it isn't starting, and because it's all gelled up. And I forgot to put the DWAG in, so I put the Diesel Winter Rescue in.
I know a guy that can get you some good product.
I know. Yep. It's a good thing I got connections.
All right. David Baker says, our race cars love your products. Well,
Thank
thanks,
you.
David. Cindy Fisher says, hi, Kyle. Love you mostest. Hi, Mom. I love you, too. She's a top fan. She's in here almost every week now.
How have we not met your mom? Does she come to the Christmas party?
We could probably arrange that.
Mrs. Fisher, you need to come up for our Christmas party. Usually we have a band. This year I think we're going to do a DJ. But come up for the Christmas party, and we'll get you a hotel room for the night. Well, she can stay with you.
Yeah,
She can meet your girlfriend.
Oh, don't. Now you're in trouble. Now you're in deep trouble. You're in trouble. Moving on, Brent Hilliard says,
your
almost
girlfriend
time
coming
for
in?
DWAG, even here in Tennessee. Yes, in Tennessee, it's cold. You get cold enough. I would start on the diesel winter. Stop. You're not even. Yeah, I see you.
Well, I'm
You've
just
lost
wondering.
focus now.
But is she coming? Is your girlfriend coming to the Christmas party?
No, I don't know. That's too far away. We'll figure
Well,
it out.
why don't you give me your number and I'll give her a personal invite.
God. Sam.
So, yes, even in Tennessee, you need to use a winter anti-gel. We have seen diesel fuels. We test fuels from all over the country. And this is one of the tricky things. The further south you go, the less cold weather properties it has. So if I pulled a fuel from Ohio, where we know it's going to get below freezing.
You mean the way it's treated?
Correct, from the refinery.
Right.
So what they'll do is they'll take the higher wax, or they call them higher pour point fuels, and they'll ship them south.
Right.
The lower pour point fuels they'll ship north. So just on a natural, like truck stop fuel, in December, I might get a 0 pour point here in Ohio. I could go to the same pilot truck stop in Tennessee, and it might be 15 above.
Right.
Because they know that they have a little
And
bit
that's
more.
also when you see truckers heading north.
And that's the problem. You fill
Fill
up
the
down
fuel
there.
down
yep.
there, and you bring that.
Yeah, and this is the tricky part. I don't know if everybody knows this, but diesel fuel, part of the diesel fuel goes back to the tank. In a gas engine, the gasoline goes into the injector, into the engine, that's it. There's no return line going to the
Some have
tank.
returns.
Gasoline?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that. So on a diesel, all diesels have a return line going back to your tank. Well, that diesel fuel being returned to your tank is going to be warm or hot. Sometimes it could be as warm as 200 or 300 degrees. So the problem or the good thing, depending on how you look at it, I could fill up in Louisiana, I'm driving north, and everything's good even though it's 0 degrees in Ohio because I've got this warm stream of fuel coming back,
Right.
keeping everything warm. But then I shut my truck down and I go back out in the morning and it's all gelled up because it was
Yep.
high pour point fuel. So you really do want to be thinking about that and use an anti-gel in it.
The Bearded Medic says, I want a banner that says Bearded Medic signed by you guys. We might be able to arrange that.
We could do that. You bet.
He's a big fan, and yeah, we can work on that, Sean.
Let's talk to marketing.
Talk to marketing. David Douth's watching. David, I owe you a phone call. I'll try to get to you by the end of the day. Shane Johnson's in again. Good morning. Brent Hager says, usually starts DWAG around mid-November after a dose of Diesel Extreme. Well, Brent, where you're at, it's a little risky. We recommend a little earlier, but
Using the Diesel Extreme first is a good idea.
nice clean out.
Yep, clean out your system. We used to have a fall clean out and a spring clean out that we used to advertise really heavily. And the idea would be before the winter hits into the fall, use Diesel Extreme and Stiction Eliminator, get everything up to optimum performance, and then switch over to the Diesel Winter Anti-Gel and the FR3, and then do the same thing in the spring. Again, we want to clean everything out, make sure you start with a clean system for the summer.
So we're encouraging questions. Go ahead and throw them up. Trey Sykes, top fan badge, says, he says, you put a diesel in a Ford Ranger the same way you put a diesel in an AMC Pacer.
Oh, so this is our AMC Pacer diesel racing car that we want to build.
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be great, man. Wayne's World. It's going to be good.
See, Randy Jensen says, love the products. Thank you, Randy. Holly's watching. Mindy's watching. Bearded Mix says, I'm trying to get my EMS department to use Diesel Extreme and EDT. I'm the maintenance guy. It may be hard to get my crew to use EDT every fuel up. You know, Sean, we deal with that a lot over in the direct side. We have a lot of fleets that we work with. We have a lot of shops that have multiple trucks. Sometimes the guys that are running the maintenance don't necessarily trust the guys that are driving the trucks every day to really put EDT in every single time. On those, often we'll actually have a Diesel Extreme cycle that's a little bit more than we recommend to the traditional truck. I know one of our guys down in Florida, he changes the oil in all of his entire fleet every single month. And he's now switched over to our oil that we know can run longer than that. However, he just doesn't trust his fleet to run it properly. So every month, every truck gets fresh oil and a dose of Diesel Extreme.
I might give a little extra selling point on this. One of the local EMT groups, I was talking to him at a function, and he mentioned that when they pull up to a site, whether it be a fire or an accident or something, the vehicles are kicking into regen, and it scares the people around them because during regen it's revving up real high and smoke's coming out. And
I never thought of that.
he said it's kind of making us crazy. It's going into regen cycle every 2 to 3 days, and so we're out there. There's when there's a fire or something, everybody crowds around to see what's
Sure.
going on. That's what I would do. And this thing starts kicking into regen because they're idling it. He says there's a way to reduce those regens, and I said, yeah, use the FR3 and the EDT.
Yep.
So we were able to reduce the amount of times at regen, which was a benefit to him because it wasn't scaring the people around him.
Sure.
So that might be
Plus
enough.
the burn of fuels, there's cost there. And
Correct. Well, and honestly, you're saving a lot of money just on fuel. I know you're probably not keeping track of your fuel economy in an emergency vehicle, but the savings is still there. You are reducing the wear. The fuel system is going to last longer because we were able to reduce the wear in the fuel system. it's just a good idea all the way around, and it pays for itself.
Well, and also, I mean, stretching here, but these are emergency vehicles.
I know. You
don't-
want the best for them, right?
Well, yeah, and you also don't want them regenning when they need to be.
Doing something else. Well,
Yeah.
and we're talking about roughly about $1 a tank.
Right.
So I mean, if you think about that, you're putting in 4 ounces of product into a tank when you fill up. You're not betting the farm on
Right.
this. I mean, again, it's $1 a tank. It's pretty reasonable to use. So I would think that would be enough value to be using it every tank load.
And we do have, I believe it was our City of Columbus study was the one where they got their regens
Yeah,
down
that's a good point.
from 36 a year to 6.
Correct. And we have a white paper on that.
We
If
do.
you give us your name and address, we could, or even your email, I guess we have them online.
Mm-hmm.
We can give you the site to download the white paper. So where they were having a problem, the vehicles that would sit by the side of the road with the blinker lights on, they would leave those running all the time. And when you do that, the engine doesn't run at the most efficient pace. So they were having regens consistently because they were building up a lot of soot in the system. By adding the EDT to the system, to their fuel system, they were able to get a much more efficient burn, clean everything out, and the detergents were able to keep it clean. So they didn't need to do this regen all the time. So that white paper might be enough just to convince everybody that this is a good idea.
Well, and the savings alone, it more than paid for
I know.
itself. So it's, if they're looking at cost, the cost is not a problem at all. What's the Scarecrow's name? What's the Scarecrow's name?
Sam.
Sam Scarecrow. Chad Myers. There was a Ford Ranger that came factory with a Perkins in it.
A Perkins engine. That's like a little tractor engine.
Wow.
Probably
Chad
a
Myers.
little
said
little three-cylinder engine.
that. I don't know anything about that.
Back, if you remember back in the 70s, they used to have a lot of small diesel engines, 2 and 3 cylinder engines. Then
Where are those now?
They all disappeared, but I remember Volkswagen had one. I think the Fords had one.
Cool, make it
Chevy.
like a little junior dragster out of a 3-cylinder diesel engine.
No, they didn't have that much power, but they were getting 50 miles per gallon. I think that the problem was that the EPA came out with new standards for diesel, so they couldn't keep producing them. But that is a good idea.
And speaking of Chad Myers, who's flossing that top fan badge nicely, Chad did a great review on his YouTube channel recently. He compared, what was it, Power Service?
Power service.
Yeah, I think it was Power
Diesel
Service.
Clean. Diesel
Yep.
Clean.
Diesel Clean. I recommend you guys go check out Chad Myers 73. I always say it wrong. Sorry, Chad.
Chad Myers, 73.
Chad Myers 73. He did a good road test on it with, I saw you just popped the truck up. He did a good road test on it. And what I thought was amazing is sometimes we forget about this when we talk about it. It was a head-to-head against Diesel Clean. And, man, I'm pretty sure the EDT beat it by a full mile per gallon. But here was the catch. It was a full bottle of Diesel Clean that cost $11 or so. Treated 40 gallons. I mean, use the whole thing. It's a one and done. Versus EDT, which is $17, $18. $6 or $7 more. But it was just one treatment of it. You got a whole 3/4,
It treats
almost
400 gallons.
400 gallons in that
Right.
bottle. So,
Right.
and it gives you a mile per gallon gain over that product.
If
so,
you go, Chad did a great job. Kevin showed that to
We
me
appreciate
yesterday.
that, Chad.
Yes, thank you.
and just so you guys know, we don't pay people to do this or anything.
No, they just-
I know Chad Myers has been a big fan of our product for a long time, and he's got a great YouTube channel that covers all sorts of different stuff. So we were really happy to see that he had done that, and we appreciate it. We love that third-party validation out there.
Well, the take-home was 4 ounces of EDT outperformed 32 ounces of Diesel Clean.
Right.
And, we were looking at $1 worth of product versus was $11, and we had better fuel economy when
Right.
it was done. So Chad did a great job. Not only that, but the test was done very scientifically. I thought it was top rate. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't, it wasn't hinky in any way. He was honest, open, just explained how he did the test, ran through it. So good job, Chad. It was a great job.
And Levi's got it up right now.
Good
He's
job,
always on
Levi.
it. Levi's on it.
Levi is a web guru, man.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he's got 3 hands.
So, Mr. Top Fan Trey Sykes says AMC Eagle is available with the diesel, but if you want to go fast, you need to swap both of them.
AMC Eagle. Well, I haven't seen one of those in a lot of years.
James Bruce is on. He says, "Lube it right day and night, Chris."
Thank you. I
He
can't
says,
stop saying lubing
nice
it right.
shirt, Kyle.
Lubing it right
Like the
day and
Motorsport
night.
shirt. We got these.
So when TJ, one of our account executives, is on filling in for me or Kyle, he has this big country out when he's getting ready to go. He says, big country out. So I came on the next week after TJ trying to, gain back my momentum. And I said, well, I need some sort of sign out. And
That would keep sticking.
so that was the one he gave us. We said, what kind of sign out can I have? And they said, lubing it right day and night. Well, it's just kind of stuck with us now. So,
Let's see here. Happy Halloween to James Bruce. Thank you. Trey Sykes is saying hi to my mom. Getting awkward now, guys.
has Trey met your girlfriend?
Shut up, man. Bailey Olin says, I run FR3 in my 2007 LBZ, and it reduced my engine noise significantly. Less clacking, very impressed, and will continue to use.
Good to hear.
Well, thanks, Bailey. We appreciate that.
You would not believe how good the FR3 is. I mean, we talk about it a lot and we tell you how it works, but
It does so many different things.
it
too.
is amazing. I mean, it really, I was preparing this presentation for next week and we were going through the test results on the oxidation. And the oxidation was literally slowed down in half.
Right.
And it even was able to keep the TBN number up 3 times longer.
I never heard that.
Yeah, if you look at it, they went 40,000 kilometers, and the TBN still didn't drop as much as it had with 10 without it. So I think,
Okay, explain that to me then.
I think what's happening is, we're sealing the rings better.
Okay.
I think we're increasing.
I know that the film strength.
Correct. So there's less blow by getting into the oil. So then there's
Oh, so it's not using up the detergent package as quickly.
exactly. So the oil lasts longer, and then acting as an antioxidant, which is a key player right now because they've had to reduce the amount of zinc in all the oils lately.
Right.
The last 10 years they've continually dropped the amount of zinc.
Right.
Well, zinc is a great anti-wear, but it's also an antioxidant. So the oil does oxidize faster, which they've made up a lot by using Group 2 Plus and Group 2 oils now. But there's still an oxidation problem, so we're reducing the amount of oxidation by 3 to 4 times. So it's got some really unique properties, and it does make a great.
It's
engine
almost
oil
like an
lighter.
unintended byproduct of it.
It is correct.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes sense.
it's
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, we'll be bringing you more of those. Maybe when we get the presentation done, we'll share some of it with you.
Top fan Dan Miller's in. Good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon, Dan. Top fan Mr. Ryan Riddle, the scientist himself, says going to be chilly for KOS this weekend. Yeah, we forgot to mention that. I don't know how because I wasn't even supposed to be here right now. King of the Streets this weekend. Big event, the final big diesel event of the year, going down in our backyard right here at Dragway 42. We are going to have a vendor booth out there. Hotshot Secret is proud to support the event. There's a lot going on. This is almost like a mini UCC. They have sled pulls. They're going to have like dirt drags, dyno competition, drag strip competition.
Are they gonna do that if it's raining?
Well, they can't do a drag strip if it's raining. I don't know. I
Sled
don't know
pull?
what they'll. Yeah, usually the sled pull guys, they can't have it too wet though. So we'll see. I think it's supposed to rain, and I didn't set up today because I saw I was going to get 25-mile-per-hour winds tonight. And
Ooh.
last time I was there, last week, my canopy ended
Blew
up.
away?
Yeah, same place. So we're really looking forward to it. We've got a lot of, and what's interesting is right here, and I'll drop another little secret that I just heard too. It's the end of the motorsport season, but yet we're seeing some debuts this weekend. Number one, Jersey is having his truck come out, which I think he's had it down at Fire Punk this whole week. So we're going to see,
At King of the Streets.
yep, Team Jersey. I believe Levon Miller is going to be driving it. So
Really?
he hasn't been in the driver's seat for a year.
So what is it?
It's a badass Cummins that you cannot miss. It is. We'll show you some pictures next week. It's a real nice Hot Shots logo on too. So thanks, Jersey.
King of the Streets at Dragway 42.
Yep, another debut that is going to be there. Our buddy Steve Schwanger from Pennsylvania with the drag racing semi truck. He's in town. I guess he's getting in tonight. They have a whole big rig class that's going to be racing. So Steve is finally going to get the big rig out to compete right here in Ohio in the backyard. That thing is fully loaded with Hot Shot Secret products. He's a big fan of ours. He's also a dealer of ours, so anybody out there in the Pennsylvania area, he's a good guy to go to.
So they're
He has
racing
had-
big rigs?
Wait till you see Steve's. If you haven't seen it yet, Chris, it is a purpose-built drag racing semi-truck. And I'll say it because he's too shy to say it, it will be the fastest semi-truck in the world next season, unless he can break it
Today, tomorrow.
this weekend. Problem is, he blows it up every time he takes it out. Sorry, Steve. And he hasn't even turned the nitrous on, but there it is. Remember I went out to Pennsylvania earlier this year for
Yeah.
the show? So that's the truck right there. It is it's
Wow.
a Detroit engine, and he has never put the nitrous to it yet because it can't even handle the power that he's producing just off the motor. So the big rigs are going to be out there. That is one cool one. Make sure you stop by and check out Steve's truck because it is something else. And we've got a couple new ones, new builds. Justin Ziegler, another one of our dealers. His truck is, there's Jersey's truck. So you can't really miss that truck. It's pretty noticeable. And
Orange. Okay.
and Justin Ziegler's brand new truck's going to be debuting too. It runs all Hot Shot Secret, and I'll just say he might set the world record for horsepower on Hot Shot Secret fluids.
The world record of any diesel or pickup? Any diesel.
Any diesel.
So didn't the diesel dragster broke the world record for the fastest
Speed.
diesel? So it's the fastest diesel ever, all Hot Shot Secret. And this will be the most horsepower.
That's what it has the capability to do it. If it doesn't do it, here's the last breaking news of the week in the motorsports world at the end of the season. The billet block, the Cummins block that everybody's been waiting on for 2 years now, by our friend D&J Precision, who's a dealer of Hot Shots.
Okay.
He builds all the motors for these guys, all the Fire Punk guys. Well, the billet block that Say the Racks S10's been waiting on for a long time is done. It's finally done. And so they finally just fired it up for the first time. So they got braking oil in it right now. I talked to Drew yesterday. They want to run Hot Shots oil in it. So we're going to get together when I get back from SEMA, and they're going to take it out to the dyno and actually see what this thing can do on Hot Shots oil. And then they're going to have it on display out of PRI. So it
Very
is,
cool.
the whole industry's been waiting for that motor, and it's big stuff. So a lot of new stuff coming right here at the end of the season. So we're looking forward to all of it. So we'll be out there this weekend. Come see us at Dragway 42, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A bunch going on.
Very good. Any questions on
Oh,
that?
David DeCesarius. Man, never get his name right.
Can't say his name.
I can't.
I'll just let you. butcher it.
DeCesarius is it?
DeCesarius?
Also, is there a kit for the France bypass oil filter for the 2018 Ram 6.7 Cummins? Yes, there is. And if you check out Firepunk's YouTube channel, they just did an install on the 2019 Cummins. Really nice of Firepunk. They did a full video on it on our kit. Now that's with our new kit. They were measuring the lines to for our new braided stainless steel lines, which makes and we actually have a new magnet mount. They chose not to use. They bolted it in. But we do have a kit for that, David.
So what Kyle's talking about is we have kits for the different trucks, and we have a supply line that's coming from the filter, and then we have a return line that's going in through the cap. But you still have to put them on there and clamp them and zip tie them along. So what we would like to do, those lines are rubber, made for oil. But on the Ford 6.0, we made a kit that is really just like plug and play.
Right.
We had the lines measured out, and we put the base with really heavy duty magnets, Neotype magnets.
They're insane.
I mean, you cannot pull this thing off once it's
No.
on there. So the idea was to make it easy enough that anybody can do it in 60 seconds or less. You can stick the filter on the wheel housing, run your lines over, and they have quick connects, put them on, and it's done.
Yep.
So you can have one micron filtration.
I think Levi showed a video that we did with Brett showing the new setup and how quickly you can put it on.
So the next step is to do that with all the other types of trucks.
So we're knocking them out as we go. The only trick with that is that we have to get the measurements of all the hoses done.
Right.
Before we had the rubber hoses, you cut to fit. Now with the stainless steel lines, we're trying to get perfect fit for everybody.
Right.
So Nick Morris, how you doing, Nick? Says King of the Street. Well, I see you guys there. We will have the black extended cab competing in the event. Hashtag Hotshot Secret. You know it, Nick. I'll be there. Don will be there. Aaron, our new account executive, is going to be there. I think Levi said he might make an appearance. So yeah, we'll be out there, Nick. Thanks for being such a good ambassador for Hot Shots. Nick really is a heck of a racer. Bearded Medic says, screw the others. I'm Hotshot Secret. I have Winter Rescue in my truck now. That's a little preventative, I'd say.
That's very preventative. So the Winter Rescue is really a product made for after you've already gelled. Before you gel, the DWAG, diesel winter anti-gel, is the better choice because one's a prevention, one's a cure.
So let's jump into it a little bit. We can get back to some questions.
Okay.
So you messed up. The cold either snuck up on you, you didn't have it in time, you're the guy who, trying to pull your tractor out in the middle of winter, what it may be, you found yourself, it's gel. What do you do?
If you don't have this product or a product like it, you get a torch out and you start heating the lines up and you try to warm it up. And let me tell you, when it's cold out, which is when this is happening, this is a bad job to do.
It is.
And so you're sitting there and usually you'll take the filter off, bring it inside, try to warm it up. So it's probably a 1 hour to 2 hour job for a regular truck. The alternative is you can dump in a product like this, and it's got special de-icers and special things that will break the wax up instantly. Instantly meaning, 5 to 10 minutes. It doesn't happen in 1 minute. Get it in there, try to get it circulating the best you can, warm it up, whatever you can do, and as soon as it starts moving, it'll start breaking everything down, and it'll get it running again. And then once you get it warmed up, put the winter anti-gel in.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a great product. It works well. It works better than anything else we found.
And sometimes, people find themselves stranded on the side of the road. And that, you don't even have the opportunity sometimes to get your filter inside. You're calling a tow service.
Well,
they're going to take your truck in. It's going to cost you a good coin to get it in somewhere where they try to thaw out your whole truck.
Oh yeah. It's going to be
not cheap.
Yeah, it's going to be $400 or $500 easy. So people in this room know that sometimes you get on the road and you just can't even find a place to buy diesel fuel. So that happens, doesn't it? So then you end up even just running out of fuel, and that's an ordeal.
Some people in this room, huh, Chris?
Yes, that does happen before, from what I've heard. So it's just as easy to find yourself on the road in a cold temperatures and find yourself gelled up. So this is my
I got stories on you too. I can tell them some things.
That's all right. I'm okay with that. So this would be my recommendation. Do your best to keep the DWAG in your truck at all times during the winter. I usually go October 1st to March 1st, and then switch over to EDT.
Right.
The rest of the time, keep at least one bottle of this in the toolbox, in the back seat, somewhere.
Like you said, it's like your lug nut wrench.
Just in case. If it's not for you, it might be for somebody else. You might find a friend that's gelled up, and they're like,
You are a hero.
and you're
You
like,
get one of
dude,
those.
you didn't put any anti-gel in there? No, I didn't know I had to do that. And so now you're out there helping him, and you got diesel fuel all over your hands, and it's freezing cold.
And let's address that too. We get this question in customer service sometimes. If someone's stranded, can they just put a ton of diesel winter anti-gel in and thaw it out?
No,
No. It's different.
Well, this is the problem. It works best if you get to the wax molecule before the cloud point of the fuel.
Right.
Now, the cloud point of the fuel is when it starts to look hazy, and that usually happens in the 5 to 15 degree to 20 degree. It'll literally start looking hazy where you can't see through it. We want to affect the wax before then, because what we're doing is we're taking a wax molecule and we're breaking down to little tiny pieces and coating it with lubricity additive so that they can't come back together again. So basically they just float around like this, and they're small enough that they can go right through the filter and it doesn't create a problem. Now once it's already become a plate,
Point of no return.
yeah, it does work to some extent. I've done it before where we've had gelled fuel. It just takes a little bit longer and it doesn't work as effectively. But once we become a wax platelet, it's harder to break it down. It's a different kind of chemical reaction, which is why we need this product.
Right.
So try to get it in there before the cloud point
Right.
to get the most effective. And just give you some rough numbers, most of the fuels we test we'll take down to minus 50, minus 60 degrees pour point.
Wow.
Our cold filter plug points will be in the minus 20 to minus 30 degrees. So the winter anti-gel is really effective, but you got to get it in there early.
Preventatively, right?
Yep.
And again, if you're using this product, you're having a bad day already.
Yes.
But that's why this is one of the few products that it's a preventative product, a preventative purchase, I should say.
Yes.
You should definitely have some in the vehicle if you have to use it, or if you have a friend that uses it. You're a hero that day, and
Yep.
you're saving yourself a lot of time and pain. And
The de-icing and the lubricity, and those are like really unique to this. And then the demulsifier for the water. I mean, what we're doing is we're just breaking it down. It does work in biodiesels. We get that question a lot. Will it work in biodiesel? And yes, it does. And biodiesels do gel faster than regular fuels. They have a really,
Higher wax content?
no, they just have a higher pour point. They're a different product. They're an ester. But their pour point, the natural biodiesel pour point is like 30 degrees versus, 0.
Yeah.
So once you blend it in at 5 or 10%, it kind of, it melts it down a little bit, so it's not so bad. But when we pull fuels from Wisconsin and Minnesota, which are mandated to have 5 to 10% bio, they'll come in their natural state with pour points in the 10 to 20 degree range.
Wow.
When you take the bio out, the natural pour point in the wintertime would be 0 to minus 10.
Right.
So it does affect it in a bad way.
And we have 2 different treatments for this product. We recommend one being either the tank fuel gelling or the fuel filters, and usually you have to treat both. The fuel filter, we recommend removing the fuel filter, filling half with diesel and half with the product.
Correct.
The tank itself,
Dump the rest in.
but to put in the tank.
Yeah,
I think we actually recommend a 32 on 40 gallons. Is that right?
sounds right.
Yeah.
So, and that's right. That's a very common practice for people that have diesel. You gelled up, you take the fuel filter off, and you put in the anti-icer and the anti-gel product to break it up in the filter itself, or change the filter. If you do change the filter, you can use the old filter, just put it inside your garage and let it thaw out, and then put it back on next time.
And the other thing is, this is a very, very cost-effective product. A 32-ounce bottle we sell for $14.50. It is a very,
Yeah,
you talk
for-
about price per ounce. It's probably our cheapest product. And I know there's some competitors out in the market, and we went to formulate something better. Well, I checked their price points. Their price points are higher too.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where I think it's almost a courtesy product. We really don't want you to straight it out there. It's a low price point. Throw a bottle in the truck.
It
It's
isn't
worth it.
almost a courtesy. It is a courtesy product. Diesel 911, Power Service Diesel 911 is the #1 thawing product everywhere you go. If you go to a truck stop right now, you'll see skids of it.
They've had that
They are the king of the market.
product category in lock for a long time.
At Hot Shot Secret, we try to develop, problem-specific products that we go after a problem. We don't want to make commodity products. We wanted to do things that are the best of the best. They're made for a specific reason. We have a stiction problem. Here's a product for it. We have a wear problem. Here's a product for it. This is a little bit of an exception because we had so much demand for it.
Right.
We had so many of you folks, our fans and customers, saying, can you please make a winter rescue product for us because I don't want to use diesel 911. So the problem with diesel 911 is it's a lot of solvent and there's not enough lubricity in it. So it's a very dry burning product, and it's hard on injectors, it's hard on cylinders, on the upper cylinder. So Kevin and Aaron went to work, and again, the gauntlet for them always is it the best of the best? Is it better than anything else in the world? And they kept at it for a couple of years. Then finally they convinced me that it was better than everything else out there. And it is. So the lubricity in this is off the charts, better than everything else. And the ability to thaw the ice out is better than everything else. So they would put test tubes in the freezer, and then they would get them all waxed up, and they would pour both products in, and we were able to thaw it out faster. So they were able to convince me that this is a better product than anything else. And our customer base does want it. So
right.
we introduced it.
So it's out.
It's out. You should get it for $14.50.
All right, so we got a bunch of questions. We're getting close to our finishing time, so we're about to go rapid fire.
Okay.
All right. So, Nick Morris says, Ryan Riddle, I'm going to need that nitrous kit. I'm sure you guys can arrange that. David Dotha says, it was 2 here in Colorado last night. Wow. See, it's already getting there.
2 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty cold.
Hey, and shout out to David. Look for him. He might possibly be at the Hot Shot Secret booth signing autographs. David drives that jet car, jet engine powered.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That sounds like fun.
Pretty. I'm scared of those
Oh,
things.
Jet engine on a lawnmower.
Dan Miller, 4 degrees here this morning. Left my LX4 in my truck last night. Looked like beeswax today. Is that normal? My anti-gel looked fine.
I don't know that I've ever looked at the pour point on the LX4 product itself. They call that the neat form. So in its neat form is like this. Once it's mixed, it's a
Right.
different thing. But we'll go back and look. I'm not sure.
Which is something we should touch on.
Could be. I mean, it's a lot of lubricity additive, so it probably does have a high pour point. on its
Probably.
own.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Now, we tell people, people sometimes get confused. We get complaints sometimes. Some of the properties in diesel winter anti-gel, like will freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are going, how come your product can freeze? And it's supposed to be the stuff to keep my fuel
Fuel
from
from
not
freezing,
freezing. And there's a lot of chemistry behind that, so you know that once it's mixed is when the magic happens. But sitting in the bottle, we don't recommend you leaving it outside in cold temperatures, or it will. My question is, what about this one?
This one doesn't gel up because
won't.
yeah, we're looking at different kinds of solvents and lubricity additives and dispersants where with
So as we're encouraging people to keep one of these in their vehicles, they
Correct.
don't have to worry about it ever freezing up on them.
so the downfall with the anti-gels, not the downfall, but the thing to know is one of the ingredients, one of the anti-gels that everybody uses is vinyl acetate, and it comes in a natural form. It's almost a solid, so it always has to be diluted to some level to make it flow. And the more you dilute it, the less effective it is. So what we do that's, we try to keep our product the best of the best is we use a combination of 4 different pour-point suppressants and then a jet fuel de-icer. It's a wax anti-settling agent, and the jet fuel de-icer we use is the same one the military uses to de-ice their jets. It's the
Isn't
same
the-
exact product.
The
Yep.
WASA.
The WASA, yep, wax anti-settling agent, very good. So the problem is trying to come up with the perfect combination that works in all the fuels, because
Right.
sometimes you'll come up with something that works in Ohio, but it doesn't work in Montana, and vice versa. So we came up with one that works the best in all the fuels that we've been able to test. It works better than everything else that we've tested, but it is strong, and the stronger it is, the faster it will gel. So it's better to keep it in a warmer environment, above 30, that type of warmer.
And we'll look into the LX4 on that too.
Yeah, LX4 is a lot of lubricity, so that's,
So it does make a little more sense.
yeah,
Trey Sykes, oh man.
what Trey Sykes say? What, about your girlfriend?
He said hashtag Miss Cindy at the Christmas party. I'm talking about my mom's now, man. What does this show come to?
We're talking about your mom. All right, Mrs.
David Berg
Cindy.
says hello. How you doing, David Berg?
We want to see you at the Christmas party. Make sure you come
Shane
up.
Johnson says DWAG is unheard of in Southern California. Maybe some parts in the mountains, but no issues where I'm at. Yeah, I doubt you ever will have a
Yeah.
problem there.
Yeah, San Diego's pretty warm.
Yep. Toot says hi, Kyle Fisher. How you doing, Toot? Henry Kirkpatrick says, I have a Duramax friend I'm trying to get on board. Start with Diesel Extreme or just get on EDT? I say start with Diesel Extreme.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's somebody who hasn't used additives before or whatnot. Diesel Extreme is going to give you the most robust bang for your buck, and it's the first thing you want to start them on anyways before you switch over to EDT. So
Well, especially if there's a lot of miles. If he has over 100,000 miles, absolutely Diesel Extreme.
if he has over
Because
40,000 miles, I'd still do.
well, you could do that. And this is a thing to keep in mind. That fuel going back, leaving the injector could be 300 to 400 degrees. So the oxidation point of diesel fuel is in the 200s. So you have oxidized fuel going back, leaving deposits all the way along. So after you've run 40 to 100,000 miles, you've left a lot of oxidation and bad stuff behind. You need something really strong to clean all that out as an initial fill. Keep in mind that the Diesel Extreme is just a once or twice a year deal. You don't have to use it all the time. We have the everyday diesel treatment as a more economical way to do that.
Don't like to recommend it by time because it depends how much mileage you put on.
Correct.
But every 6,000 miles or so, which is usually twice a year for the average driver. But
Something like that, yeah. It's not a perfect science, but that's the idea.
right. Sean Bottomley says, y'all got my info on my account. I'd like any and all info to get my department to do this and possibly all local EMS and fire departments in my county. Yeah, Sean, we can get you that information, especially on those white papers that Chris is referencing. Sounds like you need to become a dealer for me, Sean.
There we go. We need a dealer. Sell all the EMS in the state.
All of them.
Forget
There
the
we
county,
go.
go statewide.
What's a regen? Asked Shane Johnston. My 2012 Ram Cummins doesn't do those. I think those parts are missing. He's laughing. Let's see. Our Chevy chassis. The F450 chassis ambulance is regen a lot. Tom Perini says hi.
Hey, Tom.
Bill Lacey, how are the France upgrades on the 6.7 Cummins coming? Just put in Diesel Extreme and Stiction. Used FR3 and power steering fluid. Amazing. Love all your products so far. Just used bore and bow lube on both pistols and long guns. Fantastic. Thanks.
Great to hear. Good
Thanks,
to hear
Bill.
those good stories. Thanks, Bill.
As far as the upgrades on the 6.7 Cummins, if you're talking about add-on to the kit, I believe I heard Brett say the other day where we can almost ship the add-ons. No? Like if people that already have the kit that might want to switch over to the stainless steel lines, we can ship just the lines. Or they want to go to magnetic mount, we can now do that. So if that's what you're asking, Bill, those, I don't know if we've got them up on the website or a part number for them yet, but if you give us a call, we can get it figured out and get you a price and get it out to you. We will be updating all that soon as we
It'll be done by next Thursday. Marketing's on it.
Yeah, there we go. Nikki's on it.
Nikki's on it. Nikki's here. Nikki's in the house. You can count on having those next Thursday's Facebook Live. We'll get an update for you.
But thanks for the comments, Bill. Randy Jensen, it's chilly out here in South Carolina, only 85. We don't want to hear it.
Come on.
I think it's going to be 40 this weekend here. So
We were up at, I was up working on a sour gas job up in Michigan, and the fella flew up from Florida. And it was probably 70 degrees, and he was shivering. He's like, I said, it's nice out here. He said, I'm from Florida, man. It's freezing here.
So Trey Sykes says, stay tuned for the 3-liter VW TDI Franz kit coming soon. I
Okay.
think he's been working some with Brett on that, like a small one or something.
Yeah.
Sean's waiting on the 7.3, going to be worth every penny invested. Yeah, we know, Sean. I know you've been very patient about that, and we are right there on the finish line.
It'll be done by next Thursday since Nikki's here.
Yeah, exactly.
No pressure.
Finally got my hands, Michelle Shane Johnson says, finally got my hands on the new bottle design of Diesel Extreme. New bottle is 10 times better, easier to pour, looks great, and works great.
Yes, it is, and we designed it that way. That was one of the problems that we had with the old bottle. They didn't go in the tank very well because the neck wasn't long. So we worked a long time on designing that bottle, and we're real proud of it and happy that it not only looks a lot better, but it functions
functional.
it functions a lot better. And you can put lights underneath it for display, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I think we're going to be lit up at Apex, right?
I don't know. That's
I think so.
You said you were.
I think so. That'd be cool.
Well, Nick, you'll be there. We'll get done.
Yep. You get that to-do list going, don't you?
You know what? I'm recording. Oh wait, you guys are recording.
Sean says, gonna have to call my order in after the show. Don't wait, call it in now. They're busy over there.
They're just watching the Facebook Live.
Artie Moppin is watching, the Hotshot Secret drag truck champion.
Artie, good afternoon.
And let's see.
Live from Vegas?
Live from Vegas next week?
Is Artie going live from Vegas?
Artie will be in Vegas. Yeah, maybe we will. Thursday? Let's see. Sean, you want to be a dealer? Come on, brother, give me a call. We can arrange that. Any Halloween coupons or discount codes? Levi?
Levi?
Well, you got the winter special going, right? So we do have the winter special was the winter stock up bundle at $114.65 and the tune up trio DWAG at $106.85. Trey's got those, Levi's got those on the website.
Okay.
It's 84 here in Georgia, calling for 43 tomorrow morning. That's exactly why you need to be ready with some of this. You never know when you have a 40-degree drop. Why LX4 and EDT, not one or the other? Henry Kirkpatrick asked that question.
That's a.
I got the answer. What, it gets you sweating
Well,
like
go-
Kevin?
No, I was just trying to think of how to unfold that and give all the intel, but go ahead. 'Cause
Well-
you're over time already, so.
So
Your explanation will be much shorter than mine.
probably. Since you let the cat out of the bag like a month ago, the LX4 is going to EDT, and now that we've officially let it out of the bag since I think it's already now, we're already there. LX4 is going to be in EDT going forward. And how much more did we raise the price of EDT?
Not at all.
Not at all. That's right. So same price, you're just getting a better product. When we found something to re-engineer and make better, we did. Now that being said, the LX4 is still a standalone product. It's kind of like what we have with our FR3 on the oil side of things. It serves such a good purpose on its own, yet we use it in nearly all of our oil-based products. Well, LX4 is such a strong lubricity additive that we found. It is worthy of a standalone product, although you are going to see it in a lot of our fuel side products, because why not add a better...
It should go into all of our fuel side products. And the LX4 was developed as the best lubricity additive in the world. We wanted to be 2 to 3 times better than everything else, and we accomplished that. Now, a lot of people just want lubricity. They don't want the full package. EDT is the full package. It's a 6-in-1 additive, so we're addressing everything in the fuel system. There are some people that still want to put more LX4 on top of that. That's fine. I mean,
Right.
the more lubricity is never going to hurt.
Well, and it's also the application too. Like I know we were getting a lot of feedback from the high performance racers the guys that were using the performance diesel
Yeah.
fuel, super dry fuel.
Yeah, high
So-
performance, yeah, that's.
And those guys don't need, a fuel stabilizer and moisture dispersant.
Correct.
They're really looking just to get the lubricity back in the fuel. So that would be one use from LX4. And senior follow-up here, Henry, Chris nailed the main part of the question. The EDT is really your fully formulated product that has everything in that you need. So that's the product you want to go with. It will have LX4 in it rolling out the door now. So now that problem's solved. If you have a CP4 pump, then LX4 is a product that you probably want to add on top of your EDT for that added protection. Just because we know the problems with these CP4 pumps, the lack of lubricity in our fuel is causing a lot of problems, and that is a catastrophic bill when those things go and shoot metal throughout your entire fuel system. So we know a lot of people now that were doing the performance dose of EDT have cut back to the maintenance dose of EDT with
Put LX4 on top.
on top.
Yeah, so if you have a CP4 pump, the added protection, the extra lubricity of just using LX4 as a standalone or with the other product, with the EDT is worth it. Only from the standpoint of the downside potential is huge. I mean, if that pump, shreds apart and ruins your whole system, you're looking at an $8,000 bill, so.
Yeah, and he's saying his applications would be a 2014 X5 and a 99 7.3. So certainly 7.3, you want to check out our stiction eliminator on that one.
Yeah, make sure you use stiction, and if the body's in nice shape, I would absolutely look at a bypass filter. The 7.3 was a great engine that lasts forever.
Favorite engine in the world.
I know people that have over 500,000 miles on those 7.3s, and they've never had to do anything to the engine. So they're just a really strong engine, and it's worth the $400 for a bypass filter to make it last forever. So I would.
Speaking of 7.3s, we were just going over our records for your presentation there, and we do have the fastest 7.3 in the world that runs our oil, which is Brian Gray, who just called me, so I'll give you a call after the show here, Brian, and follow up with you. But that's about, I should say, Trey Sykes says LX4, 14 cents a gallon versus 15,000 for a CP4 failure. Tough decision. So a lot of people are using, Shane Johnson uses both at the same time. His MPG increased almost 1 mile per gallon, and the added protection is a great peace of mind. So I need to order LX4 like today. Exactly, Henry. It's a good time to do it.
Okay.
So we're over time. That's going to do it for today. Let's give out some. Did we give out any last week? Did we have any overtime last week, guys?
I don't think I was here.
Oh, we didn't. I'll check on that. So we have a couple winners for today. It's going to get a bottle of our Diesel Winter Rescue, so they will not be stranded this winter. It's going to be Bailey Olin and Henry Kirkpatrick. So why don't you message us privately on Facebook and give us your address. If you're in a warm climate, we'll find a substitute product for you if you don't need the Diesel Winter Rescue.
And
But
some EDT,
EDT, something like that. Yeah.
LX4. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds great. And don't forget about the banner we want to sign.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to turn him into a dealer, and then
Okay.
we'll make him custom dealer banners. Right, Sean? We'll knock out some of those ambulance and fleets up there.
Okay. Sounds
So
great.
come see us this weekend at the Chaos event here in Ohio. And next week, we are all on the road.
Everybody's at Apex. We will be there all week. We may do the show from Apex. We'll need to pack a camera and get ready for that.
I do cell phone.
Do cell
We
phone?
can rock. That's what I do when I'm on the field. We can rock
Okay.
it. So
Sounds
maybe catch us live from Vegas next week, next Thursday. Tune in, and we'll show you what we got going out in
Sounds great.
in Apex.
Sweetest attachment.
Yep.
And in
Thanks,
the
Levi.
meantime, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Thursday. Everybody have a great weekend and great Friday.